Hi, ladies. My name is Doona, and I'll be guiding you through a beginner's yoga class specifically designed for um, all the mamas who are pregnant right now. So, whether you're in your first trimester, second, or third, this video will be perfect. If you are brand new to yoga and you have not seen my do's and don'ts during prenatal yoga, please go ahead and check that out before you begin. As I guide you through the practice, I will remind you what not to do, or I'll give you different modifications, different adjustments. So always listen to your body, listen to what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Okay, so we're gonna grab a block to sit on. If you like, you could grab a blanket or a bolster instead. So coming into just a comfortable seated position, cross-legged. Make sure your left ankle is over your right. Okay, we're going to switch it out later on just to balance out our hips. Then make sure both sit bones are firmly, evenly grounded. If you need to, spread your knees a little bit wider, maybe even bringing the soles of your feet to touch. You could also do that. So just taking a moment to notice your hips. Especially throughout your pregnancy, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of changes going on with your body. So right now, I just want you to notice without over judging, overthinking, or even overdoing. And if you haven't already, close your eyes. Notice if there's any rounding or arching through your lower back. During pregnancy, we tend to overarch since our core begins to weaken. So see if you could draw your belly button in towards your lower back. Then lengthen your tailbone down towards the floor. So creating more of a flat lower back. Lift up through your chest, sitting up taller. Then relax your shoulders. In every yoga class, we focus on the breathing to help us set the tone and pace for our practice. So, right now, I want you to take notice of your breath. I invite you to slow down your breath, breathing in and out through your nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat. During pregnancy, we tend to have shortness of breath. So if that's affecting you, feel free to take open mouth exhales instead. One more breath together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. If you haven't already, gently blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. Interlace your fingers above your head, then flip your palms to face up. From here, arch your upper back. So finding a nice extension through your mid and upper back. Gaze up, opening up through the chest. Then as you exhale, I want you to round your back, draw your hands in front of you, and push your hands away from your chest, straightening through the arms. Moving breath to movement. Inhale, sit up tall. Arch your mid and upper back, but keep reaching up through your spine, sitting up taller. Exhale, round for cat pose. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Last one. Inhale, stretch your arms, open those shoulders, lean your chest back, maybe gaze up. Exhale, round. Find that nice flexion through your spine. Good. From here, you're going to keep your chin tucked towards your chest. There's rounding in your upper back. Then place your hands behind your head, maybe even your neck, and slightly draw the elbows in. Tuck your chin a little bit more and feel that deep stretch into the back of the neck, all the way down to your cervical spine. Breathing, hollowing out the belly. So you're not yanking your head down. You always want to be gentle. Good. And then you slowly release the hands, sit up tall, bring your gaze back to center. Perfect. From here, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left. It might feel a little funky at first since we're always one-sided dominant, but that's the beauty of yoga. We tend to create balance. Okay, make sure both sit bones are grounded, opening up the hips. If you like, you could always release the block and place it to the side. Good. All right. This time, reach your hands behind your lower back, interlace the opposite grip. So this time it's going to be the funky grip. Then press your fist down towards the floor, straighten your arms, lift your chest, gaze up. So same extension through your upper back, but this time we're focusing more on rolling the shoulder heads back to really open up through the front of the shoulders here. Good. Holding here for another 3. Reach up a little higher through your chest. 2. Keep your hands interlaced. Sit up nice and tall. Place your fists to your right hip. Drop your right ear towards right shoulder and slightly guide your shoulders down towards your hips. So this time you should feel that deep stretch into your neck area on the left side. It should feel really good, especially if you're taking this class in the morning. It feels so, so nice to get up and get moving. Good. Let's go to switch sides. Hands to your left hip, left ear towards the left shoulder. And if you're brand new to yoga, go ahead and find my video on breathing. It should be one of the first videos I've posted during my 30-day yoga challenge. That's going to really help you focus on the present, get deeper into your practice, helping you to stay present. Come back to center. Now release your hands. Awesome. Good. Let's come up to tabletop position. Hands underneath your shoulders. Hands about shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers out wide and stack your knees underneath your shoulders. So taking 3 rounds of cat and cow pose. Bend your elbows slightly back towards your thighs. Lift your chest. Gaze all the way up. Open up the front of your throat. As you exhale, push your hands into the floor, straighten your arms, gaze down at your belly button, rounding your back. Good. 2 more. So we did this during our seated position. This time we're just on our hands and knees. So still working the spine here. Also the shoulders as well as the hips. Really, really good for those who have lower back tension right now. Releasing that tension and tightness in the lower back. Good. All right. So you're going to come back to tabletop position. Inhale, stretch your right arm high. Open your right shoulder. Keep reaching up with your right hand. Then place your right hand behind your right ear. As you exhale, bring your right elbow behind your left wrist. Inhale to open. Open up through the shoulder. Exhale, twist. 2 more. Inhale, open. Keep the hips squared. Don't open the hips. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Drop your right hand underneath your right shoulder, switching sides. Inhale, reach your left arm high. So don't twist so much from your navel. Focus on opening up through your left shoulder. Left hand behind your left ear. Exhale, thread. 3 more times on your own. Once you're finished, we'll meet back in tabletop position. Take your time. Keep your hands shoulder width apart with fingers spread out wide. Step your left foot back and then your right foot back into your high plank position. Keeping your hands and feet there, just push your hips up to your first downward facing dog. If this is your first time taking downward facing dog, focus on an upside down V shape with your body. So your back is flat. Your heels might lift up and you might have to bend your knees a lot, and that's totally fine. Depending how far along you are in your trimester, walking your feet as wide as the mat might feel better. So take notice of your shoulders now. See if you're crunching them up towards your ears. Try to relax them, broadening through the upper back. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale, walk your feet forward. Keep your feet either hip width or keep your feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees as you hinge from your hips. Drop your chest between your thighs. Relax your head and start to shift your weight forward into your toes. Shift your weight back and back into your heels. Moving forward and back, getting more into the ankles, the calves, as well as your hamstrings. Feel free to bend your knees even more here. Good. Slowly rise all the way up to a standing position. Walk your feet about hip width. Drop your arms by your side, palms face forward. Relax your shoulders. Keep your spine long. Tuck your tailbone. Core stays engaged. Inhale. And as you exhale, open mouth, let it go. Good. All right, let's take our warrior two. So you're going to face, or I'm going to face the camera. And we're going to start off with our right side. So make sure your right toes are pointing straight forward. Draw a line from your right heel all the way back to the arch of your left foot. Point your left toe slightly out. Bend your right knee over your right ankle. Then tee out your arms. Stack your shoulders over hips. Activate through your biceps. Energize through your fingertips like you're trying to reach for the opposition. Inhale, straighten your right knee. Tap your arms above your head. And as you exhale, bend your right knee. Now make sure your right knee keeps pointing out towards your right pinky toe. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Tap your arms above your head. Exhale, bend. Warrior two. Inhale. Find that nice extension through your arms. Exhale. Open your hips. Keep your legs the same. Inhale. Reach your right arm forward. Exhale, side angle. Drop your right forearm on top of right thigh. Reach your left arm high. Try not to dump your body down towards your right thigh. Rather, as you inhale, try to reach up past your left hand like you're trying to touch the ceiling to help you lengthen your spine. As you exhale, roll your left shoulder back. Find that slight rotation. Inhale, back to warrior two. Straighten your right knee and take your reverse triangle. Reach your right arm up and over. Feel that nice side body stretch. Good. Let's come back to center. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So point your right toes in. Point your left toe straight forward. Bend your left knee as much as you can. Make sure your left knee does not past the ankle. So you don't want too much flexion in the knee. If anything, if it goes past the knee, that just means you could widen your stance. Now, coming to your breathing. Notice if your breathing is heavy. Maybe you stop breathing altogether. If you notice that, just start to pay attention and start to breathe slowly again. The slower your breath, the more relaxed your body becomes. The more relaxed your body becomes, the less tension you create in your mind. So they're all interconnected. Inhale, reach your left arm forward. Exhale, side angle, reach your right arm high. Keep opening up your chest. Using your left forearm, press your left knee out. So you should feel that stretch into your left inner thigh, inner groin area. Lean your right shoulder back even more. Inhale, back to warrior two. Then take your reverse triangle. Tailbone lengthens down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Straighten your left arm. And let's come back to center. Good. All right, point all 10 toes forward. You might have to widen or shorten your stance once you're all the way down, but you could readjust later. Again, make sure the toes are pointing forward. If your toes are pointing out and you fold, you're going to feel a lot of tension in your knees. I like to bend my knees while I fold. Place your hands on top of your hips. Inhale, reach your chest up, open your heart. Then as you exhale, hinge from your hips and lower down. Good. Once you're down, drop your hands. Maybe walk your hands back so your wrists are stacked underneath your elbows. And again, this is where you might have to readjust. You could widen your stance. You could shorten it. You could bend your knees even more or maybe straighten it. Make sure you're not compressing your stomach. So again, bend if you need to. If you feel uncomfortable at any time, skip it. Stand back up. Good. Walk your hands forward. Inhale. Lengthen your spine. Lift your chest. And as you exhale, bend your right knee. Straighten out your left. So you're more than welcome to stay here, getting into the hips as well as the inner thighs. Otherwise, if you have full Skandasana in your practice, drop your right heel and lift your left toes up. Okay, so this is a deeper variation for our hips and our inner thigh. If you want, you could always bring your hands to your heart center. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands. Come back to center. And then again, layer one. Just bend your left knee. Keep your chest lifted so the spine stays long. Otherwise, Skandasana. 3 breaths. At any time, if it gets too deep or too much for you, and you notice you stop breathing, you're holding on to that tension, back off. You could always let go of the pose. Drop your hands, come back to center. Point your toes out, bend your knees, and slowly rise up. Good. And let's come back to the top of your mat. Keep your feet hip width, outer hip width, maybe as wide as your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Again, feel free to bend your knees. Inhale, lift up through your chest, and as you exhale, standing forward fold. Same action, hinging from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on top of your shin bones. Lift your chest to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, frog pose. Point your toes out, heels in. Bend your knees. Feel free to grab a block to place underneath your hips. Maybe hands stays on the floor. Maybe hands to heart. Point your knees out. Sit up tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can release your hands and then drop down to your sit bones. All right, ladies, really good job. So let's slow down. Come into our butterfly legs with the soles of our feet to touch. Walk your feet away from your body. Again, you can sit on a block. Inhale, reach your chest up. And exhale, hinge from your hips. Fold over your legs, or rather between your legs in this position. Anytime we're folding, you might feel some compression in your stomach or maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortableness. If you do, you always need to back off. So even lifting up higher to keep the spine lifted is totally fine. Okay, this is not the time to overdo. Goal of the practice is to feel good, to sleep better, to move better, especially because a lot of things are changing right now. Good. Slowly rise. Straighten out both legs. Keep your feet hip width. Maybe feet as wide as your mat. Inhale, sit up tall. And then as you exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep your toes pointing up. Option to bend your knees. Focus on leading with your chest. So pulling your lower back, your belly button up, and drawing your chest up and forward. Inhale, slowly rise. Good. All right, let's come back to our cross-legged seated position, Sukhasana. If you need a block still, please feel free to sit on a block. Take the next couple of breaths to get comfortable in the seated position. And once you're there, close your eyes. So I want you to notice how you feel now versus how you felt about 20 minutes ago in the same position when we started class. Your hips might feel more open. Your lower back might feel better. You might notice your posture getting taller. See if you can relax your jaw. And find some quietness in your mind. Ladies, please feel free to drop down to your Shavasana or your fetal position for the remainder of class. Otherwise, if you're ready to move on with your day, please bring your hands to your heart center. And let's take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide your practice. If you have any questions, please comment below or leave some feedbacks. I'll see you guys next time. Namaste.